What's up, guys? It's John Muscarello from Side Hustle Experiment here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are already subscribed to the channel, thank you for viewing. Talking about that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't and like this video. In this channel, we talk about everything Amazon, eBay, reselling. I'm a full-time e-commerce seller. I sell mostly books and media. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to solve problems. This is one of the biggest obstacles you're gonna have in your reselling business, and it's gonna require you to get creative. So let's get into it. So I have a warehouse, I sell books in bulk, I buy books by the Gaylord, and I have a supplier who brings them to me. And then I have another person who takes away all the books, the duds, that aren't a good fit for Amazon, buyback companies, the different vendors I deal with for buyback. And they have ways and means of getting some money out of them and then also getting them in the hands of other people that I can't because they're much bigger. So there's been an issue lately where they cannot pick up the books because they are slammed and way too busy. But since we have a really good relationship, they want to make it work. So they've been sending outside parties to come pick it up instead of them coming to pick it up. And it's great, but the problem it creates is that when you buy books in bulk, you have to pay for the Gaylords and pallets that they come on. The Gaylords are typically $10, pallets are typically $5. The pallets really aren't a big deal because everyone always has a lot of pallets. It's really the Gaylord boxes that are the issue because they're $10. So if you buy 12 Gaylords of books, that's $120 extra you'd have to shell out. But if you return the Gaylords, so how my process works is the source drops off the Gaylords or drops off the books that are in the Gaylords. The people who take the duds, when they come to take the duds, give me 12 Gaylords and pallets. And then when my supplier comes again, I unload the truck and then I give him the Gaylords and pallets. So essentially we swap and it's all good. So this creates a problem because now they don't have a way to get me Gaylords and pallets because it's just too costly to add another stop. So this has caused some issue because I'd be upfronting a lot of money, an extra $120 every time they come. I mean, that they come at least 4 times a month. It's looking like it's going to be closer to 6 now. So yeah, it's probably an extra close to $1,000 that I would have to pay extra. So I was thinking about it all weekend, and this is a very big point I want to bring up. Sometimes you cannot solve a problem in like 2 minutes, and it was really, really bothering me. We live in an instant world where I have a thought, I could just turn on my iPhone and say what I want to say and put it out there. And maybe it's a bad idea, maybe it's a good idea, I don't know. It's a moment in time. And I think a lot of times we expect our life to be the same way, right? We scan all the books for Amazon, we send them to the warehouse, we expect them to sell. It doesn't work that way. It takes time to build and these things. So I was really thinking about it all weekend. The company who picked up my duds, they said, you know what? Could you buy them and we could credit you for them? But it just adds another layer of complexity to the whole thing. So I was just thinking and thinking and thinking, they're not going to be able to come until August again. So that's a ways away. So I was scanning books with the helper today, and it hit me that if I can convince my supplier to go until August without swapping Gaylords, with the promise of me getting them back to them, would they be okay with that? Then I had an idea. So I called the company and said, listen, like, this is how, I'm not sure if you're familiar with how, like, I use the Gaylords or how it works, but I basically swap, and they're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I can see how that's a problem. I was like, can we do this? In August, when you guys start coming again, can you bring, like, double or triple the amount of Gaylords and pallets that you would normally bring when you come, until I catch up and get my supplier all the Gaylords and pallets back? And they're like, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's no big deal. And I was like, huh, interesting. So then I had to, like, pitch it to my supplier, who was kind of like, I get it, like, right? Because by August, I mean, I'm gonna owe him probably like 200 or 300 Gaylords at that point. Well, maybe not that. Yeah, maybe 150, 200. So I called him and I was like, listen, here's the situation. You know, can you hold out till August? If not, I can write you a check for them. And you could just credit me with books on the back end later when I return all them. And, like, I could tell he was like, this is annoying. Not annoying. Like, he wasn't mad, but, like, I would be like, oh, come on, man. Like, we swap. Like, this is how it works. I'm sure it puts a little kink in his workflow. But since we have a good working relationship, he agreed. We're going to keep track of them, how many I owe them. Problem solved. But it took me, like, a little bit. Like, it sounds like a very simple solution. It doesn't think that it would require much thought, but I was definitely way overthinking it. Where, you know, like, instead of just, you know, sometimes in business you just have to ask for help. You know, and you just got to be upfront about it. I know, you know, the dud person, it's a very tricky relationship because, like, they want the books, I want them to come pick up the books. It has to be mutually beneficial. They probably don't need my books as much as I need them to come pick up the books. So I gotta toe that line with them. And then my supplier, like, I love working with them. They like working with me. So they're just like, well, you know, we want to keep him happy. I want to keep them happy because I like their books. So you just have to, so I asked, I was like, hey, can you do this for me? And if I do not get you the Gaylords, I will happily write you a check for how many of that I owe you. And he was like, that's fine. Like, it's all good. And then we actually, with both people, right, I asked them for help. And then it turned into more business. So for the dud people, I am now getting more books. We'll see how this goes with all the restock limits and everything. But, so I need them to come more than once a week now. So when I talk to her, or them, or whoever, there's two people, they're just like, yeah, we could definitely do twice a week, or we could send a bigger truck to get at least 20 from you. So that's good because that solves another problem for me. And the book supplier, when I talk to him, he's like, you know what? I'm working with this other person. They're kind of a pain in the butt. You know what? I'm just going to do business with you now. So if you want, we're going to have, like, hopefully, if you could take on 2 loads a week, or like 1 load this week, 2 loads the next week, 1 and 2, then, or let's try it. So now we're doing more business together. So bottom line, guys, ask for help, get creative. And also the very key to this is I have like very, very strong relationships with them. Like, it's, you know, I always try to do them favors. They try to do me favors. I mean, the book supplier, I've talked about it before. There was a time where, you know, I came across someone who, you know, could buy clothing and shoes and all this other stuff that they could, you know, connect. I made the connection. They started working together. I didn't get anything from it, but, like, I like the supplier, so I thought it was a nice thing to do. And then on the flip side, the dud people, I'm good for 9 Gaylords every week at least, and no one else that really gives that to them. So it's mutually beneficial. We've been working together. I've been working with the supplier almost 2 years now. The dud people probably close to about 2 years. And we just, yeah, there's been some issues between both of us, but we work them out. We respect each other, and now we're gonna be doing even more business together. So bottom line, guys, ask for help, get creative, and just be a good partner. And that's very simple. It's, you know, paying on time. You know, if you say you're gonna have 9 Gaylords ready for them, don't call them the day before and like, oh, I'm not gonna have that. Let them know earlier. If you have more, be like, hey, can you accommodate me? Like, just ask. You never know. The answer is always no, unless you ask. So with that being said, I'll catch up with you guys in another video. Please comment. Please like the video, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you've ever just asked for help and it's led to something even more. You've done more business with someone, or your relationship just gets stronger because like you're helping someone out. It's super important in reselling. You always need connections to help and move things along. So do that, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.